Dude, that sucks. That was like it was getting to like a really cool part of that beat, bro. Like it was like getting to this part that's like I don't know, pretty hype.
I didn't hear any of that.
You didn't hear it? You didn't hear the
Nah,
music,
bro.
bro? Yeah,
No.
dude, that's Donnie's Lop beat. Yeah, that I used. Yeah, shout
Oh
out to
yeah.
Lop Studios. If you need music for content, streaming, whatever it may be that you might need music for, fucking tap into Lop. Lop is a fucking G with that shit. Everything he makes is a fucking banger, and like he doesn't really like charge, bro. Like I don't know if that's just because I am his homie or what, but like all he really is like, yo, dude, just shout it out. So might be a good opportunity if you need some music. Sneak saying that beat was going nuts, bro. I agree, dude. Lop cooks, bro, every fucking time. Right now we don't have Cap. Cap is MIA. He is sick today, unfortunately. So hopefully Cap feels better soon. But yeah, man, pretty excited for the stream today because we're joined with Dippo. We might have some more friends joining us later, but today we're definitely gonna be, talking to Dippo and what he's up to with Drill Club. But yeah, Dippo, how was your fucking Tuesday, bro?
Good. I just spilled water on myself, so we're gonna do this one wet. All
I'm
right, but
drinking
yeah, man.
whiskey and coke.
Nice. You ruined a perfectly good whiskey with some Coke.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, what kind of whiskey you drinking, man?
This is Maker's Mark, which I usually
Okay.
don't drink with Coke. Like usually, like Maker's Mark, I'll actually like just drink, with ice. But I don't know. A little
You
Coke
got to get on
never,
that
never went
Blanton's
wrong.
tip, man.
Huh?
I said, you got to get on Blanton's, man.
Blanton's?
Wow. Blanton's, bro, for the price, yeah, dude, for the price, unmatched.
Is
It's so fire.
Blanton's like fucking uh I don't know, like bottom shelf or is it top shelf? Like
No,
like
no,
what is
it's. I
it?
mean,
Like
it's
how
not
much
like a
is a
top
fifth?
show. Like, I mean, you probably get one about $80, but I mean, I see them like resell all the time for like 300. Like, yeah, I mean, so there's an ABC store not far from me, and I went in there one day and I saw a bottle of Blanton's. I was like, no shit. So I went up to the counter, didn't have a price on it. Get up to the counter, it's 79.99.
Damn.
Like, I just paid like 160 last week for one. I was like, okay, cool. And every time he was like, yeah, I don't order these. They just ship the shit to me sometimes, and I just need it out of the way so I can put other stuff up. Like, okay. So yeah, that was my go-to guy for a while, and that sorry bastard hasn't gotten anything good in a long time. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
Blanton's is solid, man.
I've never tried Blanton's and I'm not much of like a connoisseur, right? Like I drink because I
Yeah,
like to get drunk, you know? Like not because I'm
yeah.
like, ooh, the notes of fucking this
All
or
right, man.
you know what I
All
mean?
right, man. Think about it like this: you're going to Disneyland with the friends, right? You want to sit in shitty traffic for 6 hours, or you want to have a nice, smooth coastal drive for 6 hours? Just saying, man. The journey to get to the end point you're shooting for could be a little more enjoyable. That's all I'm saying, bro. You don't have to try and burn your taste
For
buds and
sure.
kill yourself.
For
So,
sure. Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah, no. I get it. I get it. That's why you put Coke in it. So you get a little caffeine for a little sugar for the fucking stream. You're like hyped up, but then you're also feeling pretty loose. At least that's what I'm going for. For some reason, I feel like I look like super washed out or something. I don't know. Weird, but hey, whatever. Yeah, man. If you're tuning in and you're on Twitter, like and retweet the stream, por favor. If you're on anywhere else, share it or whatever. Try to get as many motherfuckers in here as possible and say what's up in the chat. If there's more activity in the chat, I'll fucking show it. Right now, I'm just doing like the single little messages coming through. Shout out to Cyber Rick, Heathen, Psycho, or Sicko. How do you say that guy's name? Psycho. Like he's got like the Clonex looking PFP.
Huh? Oh, Seiko.
Seiko. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, Seiko. Seiko's the fucking homie, bro.
yeah, yeah. And I
Yeah,
know he's like working with Big Boy and Greenity on some shit, which is pretty cool.
yeah,
So it'll be
man.
exciting to see what they cook up. But yeah, definitely say what's up in chat, like and share all that fun shit, and send any questions you got for us in there or whatever you're looking at. But yeah, Dippo, bro. What are you excited about right now, dude? Like what is on your radar?
I'm sorry, I just noticed that Heathen changed his PFP to Fred Durst, so take a minute to acknowledge that. uh,
Solid,
yeah,
bro.
dude. No, I mean, dude, it's a bull market, man. Just. the whole thing is exciting. I mean, we like you and I talked about it before, and I people say it all the time, but man, like you don't marry your bags. You know what I mean? You just it's a time to so the bull market's a time to make money, man. Like if you're trying to build, the bear market's the time to build. You don't you're probably not going to make any fucking money, so you can forget that shit and just focus on building, right? But like the bull, don't get me wrong, like builders need to keep building, obviously, but I mean, for the average Web3 person, man, like this is the time to make the money, man. This is time to get the bag, and there's a lot of hype stuff coming out. You've got new chains that are dropping, new protocols, new products, collections dropping left and right. I mean, this majority of the people, I would argue, either weren't here last cycle or weren't very active last cycle, just judging by, what I see on the timeline a lot. And man, this is like standing in front of the ATM to just keep kicking money out for no reason. You just got to pay attention. There's whitelists that are hype that'll make you $1,000 off of a single mint, or hold it for a few weeks and make 3 grand off of it. This is the time to just make money. So I mean, for me, it's just the bull run's always fun, man, because it's like there's never a dull day. Even your dull days in retrospect are pretty eventful. There's always a lot going on. So man, for me, it's fun to get back in the bull market. And you start seeing people on the timeline. You see the sentiment kind of shift a little bit. People make a little bit of money, they get a little happier on the timeline. So it's just it's been nice, man, and definitely excited. However long it lasts, man. If it's a few months or it's a year, I don't care. But either way, man, it's fun. It's a fun time for sure.
Yeah, I feel like no matter how long it actually ends up lasting, it's gonna feel like it went super fucking quick. You
Dude,
know.
always, always. You can spend a
So
month at Disneyland, it's still gonna feel too short. So
for sure. I mean, I don't know. I think I'd probably get tired at Disneyland after like an hour, to be honest.
it's because you're
Now,
getting
if I
older,
had
man.
kids and a wife and brought them, maybe it'd be like, oh, look at us. But
No,
if
I
I
have
was just
taken my
there by
kids to.
myself, bro,
No, I took my kids to a theme park, bro. It gets old real quick. Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. I don't know. You know it's a bull when you are stacking bags, swing trading feet coin. Good shit, Trips. Yeah, I'm not
It's
swing trading feet coin. I'm just holding some feet coin. Uh, but yeah, dude, we're gonna win so much. You're gonna get tired of winning. Yeah, it's a little Trump shout out. But yeah, dude, wondering kind of what you're up to, what you're building. It was awesome to fucking kick it with you in Miami. Love chilling. But yeah, man, just want to kind of hear about Drill Club and what you're up to and what you're building. I feel like I haven't had you on in that kind of capacity before, so uh, will be cool to kind of get deep into Drill Club. You know the drill.
the drill. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So I mean, with Drill Club, I mean, I've stated it before, our focus is going to be community and culture. We'll, of course, we'll do other things, but, for me, I think, um, like I said before, I mean, I think that the best thing a project can really do is empower its community and support its community. Again, like I use example a lot. I mean, it's a great example. They've done a lot. D Gods is a good example of this. You look at all the stuff that you see on the timeline from D Gods on a daily basis, and most of it's not from the team. You got Sunny with the apparel. You got the D golf guys, and Poco doing his thing, and you've got like so many people that are out championing the brand. And when you look at it, it's like, wow, man, that's a lot of shit going on. And then you realize, dude, that's the community doing so much of that. And I think that like probably the best thing they've done so far is setting the community up, for success. I know they've pitched in on things where people have got their own initiative, and I think. For me, I think that if you take away all that other stuff and it's just D God's PFPs and Utes PFPs and the Killer 3 team, I don't think it has the impact that D Gods has as it stands. I think all this other stuff, when you can't help but see D Gods all over the timeline, even when they're not talking about D Gods, I think that's played a huge part in the mind share that D Gods has. And there's other projects that have done a very similar thing, and when there's people in the community that are building their own thing, whether it's a project, um, a tool, a wallet, like whatever it is, when these people are building something, if you can support the people in your community, and that doesn't take away from your community, that doesn't take away from from the value of your community. That creates more value for your community. So for me, like I said, we're leaning in to community first culture. Um, yeah, man. I mean, we've got our I don't even know what you call it, side business pre-project. I don't know, but we've been doing like services and stuff. So animations, 2D, 3D animations, websites, graphic design, art for collections, things like that. So we'll continue doing things like that. That kind of stuff will feed back into Drill Club. But yeah, I don't want Drill Club to be a utility project. It just I don't know. Like I said, I think Drill Club's always just been a great community, and I think trying to change it from what it really is just foolish. So yeah, we're gonna lean in heavily on that kind of stuff. IRL events, physical products, things like that. And then, like I said, of course, whatever we can do for the holders, whatever it is they're doing, if we can support them, creators, all that kind of stuff. That's the main thing that we're really going to be leaning into.
How did you get started with Drill Club? Like, was this like your first time trying to like do a project? Like, how'd you get into Web3 and get started with Drill Club?
So Web3, easy. So Web3 2015 probably. This guy that worked for me kept talking about Dogecoin, and I was like, "What the fuck, dude?" Like, I'm like, "All right," and he's like, "No, man, this is like the next Bitcoin." Like, all right, this guy's dumb, and don't get me wrong, he is actually still dumb. I still know him; he's still dumb, but he convinced me to buy. I was like, "Dude, I'm gonna drop $1,000 into Dogecoin to get him to shut up." So I literally did. I dropped $1,000 in Dogecoin, and every day I'm checking, and it's like $1,012. $996, $1,002. Like, this is bullshit. And I literally just got bored. Like I got bored checking the shit. And after a while, I kind of forgot about it. And yeah, what was it, like beginning of 2020 or 2021, GameStop, all that, whenever that was kicking off. She's like, "Hey, did you hear about GameStop?" It's like what? Like what about GameStop? So she starts telling me about it. And it's like, oh shit. I was like, man, I need to sell that stupid Dogecoin and go buy some GameStop stocks and actually make some profit. And then I open the app and it's like 30, $40,000. I was like,
Let's
cool.
fucking go.
Oh,
And dude, if you
yeah.
would, did you wait a little bit? Because I feel like right after that GameStop shit kicked off is when Dogecoin ripped like crazy. Like right
The
after that.
rip the rip up to that though was insane, bro. Like the rip
Yeah.
up to that was insane.
Dude, I
Um,
remember. So, anecdote, right?
yeah.
I'm living with some homies, right? I think when was that? 21. So I was like 23, 24. I don't know. It's a while ago. But living with some homies, and my one homie like comes out of his room, and we're all sitting in the fucking living room, and he's like, "Yo, guys, I just found this like really funny cryptocurrency." And we're like, "What? Like, what are you talking about? What is it?" And he's like, "It's called Dogecoin." And I was like, Dogecoin? And he's like, yeah, dude, it was like started as a joke. Like, and I had no idea what Dogecoin was at this point. And it was the day before that crazy rip. It was like January 2021. And we all put like 50 bucks in, and then like turned into like 200 bucks. And we were like, holy shit, like what the fuck is going on? So that's crazy, dude, that you forgot about it for what, like 6 years?
Um, uh, Probably like 5 years,
4 years,
maybe 4.5, 5 years. Yeah,
four or
something like
five
that.
years. That's
Um,
crazy.
yeah, dude. I mean, most certainly, like, had I had I been paying attention, I would have sold that shit a long time ago. I just kind of just forgot about it. But yes, I mean, that was just lucky. Honestly, gave me some starting capital without having to like dig into my paychecks. There was an app called Vivi. You could buy these like digital version of like a physical collectible. Like actual like popular physical collectibles.
Mhm.
So my buddy was just like, "Hey man, you should get into this. This is really cool." And I was like, "That looks fucking stupid." But then I looked at it and I was like, "Oh shit, people are making money. So cool." So I got into Vivi, and I figured out the trick to hitting every single mint. And I started printing money. And then they started doing comics. They did Marvel 1, like the original Marvel that ever came out. And they do it like in like not rarity. I guess it's rarity. I don't know. Whatever. They put a rarity on it essentially though. And the super rare is like $7 for this thing, right? To mint it, right? If you mint it. So I minted it. I had, I mean, dude, I was that asshole running multiple phones. I was like, I had a string of phones set up, and only one hit. I was like, man, fuck, like I was like, this is like this is supposed to be big, cool, and it revealed, and it's the super rare. I was like, oh shit, cool. It goes up to like 10 grand. I was like, that's a come up, and then I waited, and then my buddy said he wanted it, and then he didn't buy it, and the price dipped. So then I was like, well, shit, I'm gonna hold this, let it go back up. I ended up selling it for 68 grand, bro. like,
Holy
like, dude,
shit!
crazy as shit, dude. Absolute crazy. It still
Fuck
blows my
yeah!
fucking mind because, dude, all right, I get it. Like, I like NFTs. I wouldn't pay $7 for a digital comic. I mean, like,
Right.
not one that I can go and read somewhere else. Like, to me, I just didn't understand the value in that, but somebody did. And I was like, cool. So that really, like, those two wins right there really put me in like a really really good position to be able to like try some stuff out and not blow my whole portfolio trying to figure out how to make money in Web3. So I mean, I was really blessed. I mean, honestly, like, it was a really good position to be in. Um, but then from there, man, it was just we did ETH for a while. We moved over to Solana, bounced around here and there. Um, but like as far as Drill Club goes, I was still mainly on Solana at the time, and this guy that was in a project that I was a holder of, one of the guys on the teams, he starts talking about this thing called Drill Club. I was like, Drill Club, man, I don't, what the fuck is that? And he's, oh yeah, Drill Club is this NFT mint coming, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just in my head, I'm thinking like a power drill. And I was like, dude, this, whatever. Like, I have no, what the fuck is that? So then, like, he pops back up with this monkey PFP. I was like, what the fuck is that? He goes, oh, that's Drill Club I was telling you about. It's like, oh, cool. So I go check it out, and then it's on Polygon. It's like fuck. So now I got to bridge it up to Polygon. I gotta get everything over there, and the floor has jumped way up to like 10 Matic. Like from a free mint. Like it didn't really go up that high, but it was like it had jumped from like 0 up to 10. I was like, oh, okay. So I bought a few, and then I went and joined the server just to kind of see what's up, and the server's just going crazy. That's not like, I mean, you remember how it was. Like it was like that leading up to the mint. And as soon as the mint happened and everybody revealed and realized they got ranked 9,000, it's like, oh fuck. And then like all the hype goes, right? And like everybody kind of disappears out of the server. They start flooring their NFTs. But the Drill Club server was still just like crazy hype. It was really, really active. Uh so I was just like, man, this is pretty cool. I hadn't seen this in a really long time, and we're not like in a bull market, right? This is early 2023. Dude, we're still in the bear. Everything sucks,
Right.
and the fact that everybody was super hyped just to be in this project, and there was like for me, I had gotten to a point that when a team starts pushing roadmaps, I tune out immediately. I don't care about the roadmap. For one, you're either full of shit, and you're not going to do anything on the roadmap, right? Obviously. Two, you're naive and you think that you're going to get to complete this 3-year roadmap that you have. Because like that's the two things that I would see. Because I mean, let's be honest. How can you in Web3, how can you map out the next 3 years of your company, bro?
You
3 weeks
can't. It's
later, the
hard to
whole
map out the next 3 fucking months in Web
that's
three.
what I'm saying. In 3 weeks, the whole landscape changes. So like for you to tell me that you got a 3-year plan, man, fuck out of here, dude. Tell me what you're doing next week. Tell me what the next plan is, and we'll play it from there. And when I went to their page, it was like at the top, no roadmap, no promises, no bullshit, just art vibes. That's it. I was like, oh, cool. All right, great. Because like I don't care. Like I think utility NFTs are awesome. I've got some. I've never used the utility, but I've got some. I think it's a really cool thing, and I think maybe if I wasn't lazy, I would take advantage of my utility NFTs. But for me, I like community. That's really what I like about NFTs. So I thought it was cool that they were just like, hey, we're going to do a free mint. There is no utility. We're not trying to pump anything. We're just releasing this art and we're going to have a cool community. So I was like, that's pretty cool. The floor keeps going and it goes up to like $35. And like I said, like 100, and it just keeps going. But what I noticed is even when it dipped, like people just didn't care. It's kind of like, we had talked about in S3, like when Solana turned off for what, like 10 days last year or 2023, nobody fucking cared. Like
Right.
everybody was still just partying on the timeline. And that's what it was like. Every time the floor would dip, like nobody cared. People just go and buy the dip. And the community was just really, really loud. And for me, it was just that was the first time that I really just connected with the community and was just like, oh shit, like this is something really unique here. So that's April of 2023. Fast forward to beginning of 2024. Uh the team, hits me up and was just like, hey, Would you be willing to come on and help out with some community stuff? We're kind of in a transition period. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it's drill club. Of course I'll go help out. Drill club was still like, I wasn't active. I found out I wasn't even in the server anymore. I don't know how that happened, but I wasn't even in the server. But it was still like, I was like, that was my favorite project. I was like, yeah, absolutely, I'll come help out. And then it's like a month and a half in, they go, hey, we're done. We don't want to do this anymore. We're just gonna quit and sell the project or something. It's like, shit. All right. Um, so yeah, I mean, we talked about it a little while, and then I hit up my partner and told him, this is kind of the situation. And he's like, man, if you want to do it, let's buy it. So we came back with a number, and they rejected it, and I stuck to my number, and they rejected it, and I stuck to my number, and we purchased it for my number. Because my whole thing was, there's not a business, there's no revenue, there's no assets, there's literally no value. Like, no, if it was, I told him, I was like, if it was a business, like a physical business, I would offer you $0 to take it off your hands, and I would expect a thank you. there's there's nothing here. I can't sell anything.
Right.
So me dumping money in is really a gamble. I was like, look, man, I'm willing to pay money because I don't want to see it go somewhere else and someone just fuck over the community. So I was like, for me, it's
Right.
worth it. Um, so I was like, yeah, we pitched a number and we went back and forth a little while. Finally, they accepted on the number, and so we just took over Trill Club. The problem is, we were kind of sentiment was at an all-time low. Things had been pretty rough in the community for 6 to 9 months before that, I guess. They had launched a meme coin that did not go well. Um, you can look on the blockchain and see everything, I guess, but like, it didn't go the way things should have gone, right? So you had the communities already kind of frustrated, and then that on top of it, it was like, dude, fuck, man, like they had pitchforks, they were done. Like, it
I
was
can only
rough, man,
imagine.
and right, right, and I knew, honestly, there was a good chance that they didn't give a shit that I took the project. It was still like, fuck this project. And I knew there was a gamble, but I was like, man, let's roll the dice on it. And so yeah, man, I mean, that's really what got us here. It was just a case of, once taking over the project, really having to. I mean, it was a month of just trying to figure out what's going on. Like, can't get into the socials, can't get into this. This doesn't work. That doesn't work. This hasn't been paid. This isn't connected. And it's just like, Jesus, man, just very unorganized. And so it was a lot of just trying to figure out what's going on. And then on top of that, just all the other stuff at the time, the sentiment on the chain and everything at the time. It was rough. And I told everybody in the community, I was like, man, if every one of you floors every drill you have and leaves, I wouldn't even be mad. I get it. This is a really bad spot. It's a rough time. It's not going to be fast, but if you want to stick around, stick around. Let's do some cool shit together. So that's kind of what got us to here. So now we're, getting ready to move the collection, and start experimenting with some fun stuff. It's the bull market. It's time to get after it. So yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. So, what do you do IRL? Like, do you have an IRL job, or are you like full time Web3, or like what's your
No.
life like?
Uh, um, no. So I run a business, like in Web 2, and then I've got a wife and 3 kids, and um, got a couple of my buddies that I kind of help out with. They've got their own thing going, and I help out with them sometimes to kind of, just kind of make things a little easier. One of them is a Web 3 thing that he's got, and the other one is just a Web 2 business. But he's in the process of building it up and getting it started. So it's a lot of trying to figure stuff out. So I've been trying to help him out with that as well. But I would like it to be where I didn't have to do anything in Web 2 and just focus on Web 3. But for the time being, we're double duty. You know.
So, what do you think is like? Do you think that Drill Club can be that path for you to like pivot your Web 2 business into a Web 3 business and like go all in?
Long term, absolutely. In the short term, who knows? I mean, let's be honest. You're taking a rug project and derugging a rug project. It's already what, like a 99.999% failure rate. Um, I
Right.
mean, just a Web 3 project in general is like a 99% failure rate. But put a rug tag on top of that, it'd be very difficult to overcome that. But honestly, man, I don't fucking care, dude. Like. like the shit that people think is important today in Web3, bro, in like 3, 4, 5 years, number one, half of those people won't be relevant. And the shit that they think is relevant is not going to even matter to them then. The stuff I thought was important in 2021 doesn't fucking matter at all. Like at all. I went into like 2021 just like trying to be big brain, like, oh man, we gotta, think. And then it's like you're in 2024, you're like, that's so stupid. It's funny. I should buy that. And you start to realize that, like, man, what you think works doesn't necessarily always work. Web3 is a little different, but so yeah, long term with Drill Club, we've got some plans. Yeah, I think long term, I think will be exactly where we're what we're aiming for. Short term, I don't know, maybe, but I told everybody when we took the collection over that the floor price is not a thing that I'm concerned about. It's so floor price to me is an indicator. It's not like the metric to follow, right? If you're hitting on all the other things that you need to hit on, the floor price should correct itself. You know, if community sentiment is up, if you're delivering the things you're supposed to deliver, if activity or whatever, all the things that you want from your project is there, generally floor price will reflect that. And if all those things aren't there, again, floor price will reflect that. I think that trying to pump your floor is always temporary. It doesn't last, and it causes your floor to shoot up and shoot back down, which means that somebody bought the top and either they sell for a loss and then it's fuck Drill Club forever because you cost me $30 or whatever. And then the alternative, someone buys the top and then feels like a forced community member forever, which I don't want that. I don't want either one of those. So, for me, the floor is going to do what the floor is going to do. It's the same reason that you can't contact like a foundation and like call up Solana and go, hey, how can you guys pump the token? Like,
Right.
dude, like the SEC will be kicking down on their front door in an hour. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that kind of stuff for one. And it's just bad business. It doesn't work long term. It's very scammy, to pump your own floor because it doesn't generally last,
Yeah, and it's like the NFT should reflect the price. The floor price should reflect like how valuable the market determines that NFT to be, right? And like,
Right.
yes, that is related to what the team is doing, but it's not the team's responsibility to like price set it, you know. So we know that you're moving, right? Drill
Hmm.
Club is migrating. I think you've announced that you'll be migrating to Say.
Yep.
I kind of want to ask why do that. Cyber Rick is also asking that. But first of all, I want to ask why were you looking for somewhere else to go other than Polygon?
Um, so Polygon has really kind of shifted. Not they've always been in this field, but they've really, I would say, over the last year, it's very much become obvious that that's that tech, that the back end, the things that make everything work behind the scenes. Honestly, the stuff that's boring as shit, but it makes our lives really easy. That's what they're focusing on. They're focusing on the framework and how do we make all these chains connect and trying to solve liquidity issues and all of that. And frankly, it's boring as shit. Now, in 10 years, people, it's just like Amazon. When Jeff Bezos is in his fucking parents' garage or whatever selling books online, it's like, this is the stupidest shit ever. Well, yeah, but now he's got like, I don't know how many $100 billion. So he's cool as fuck now, right? Like immediately,
Yeah,
like coolest fucking dude ever.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, dude, just, I don't know, man. Like I said, Polygon is the stuff that they're focused on, I think is obviously very important stuff. And it's stuff that the ecosystem, the greater ecosystem as a whole does need. The problem is it's not anything that relates to Drill Club in any way, shape, or form. Drill Club is not a tech company. We're just not. We want to focus on community and culture and the things that make the blockchain fun and the things that drive community and culture, and back end tech doesn't do that. It provides what we need to make everything else in Web3 work, but it's not that, and there's not there's not really that community vibe on Polygon any longer. It happened we saw it again in 20, excuse me, we saw it again in 2023. And then it just kind of died off. Like I said, the chain really started focusing on tech, and that was really like, hey, we're just going to go all in on tech. and everything just kind of faded off, you know? So for me, it doesn't make sense to continue to build on a blockchain that's not really what we're doing. You know, like I don't know how to describe it.
No, that
I
makes
don't know.
sense.
But
That
yeah,
makes sense. Trip saying Philip just said the Safe Foundation bought CryptoPunks and CJ is the new collab manager. Uh, that's funny. Yeah. Okay. So then, why did you make the decision to migrate to Say then? How does Say more align with the vision for Drill Club?
yeah. So yeah, man. So started hanging out on Say. Just this community, man. Like that's really it. You know, like I said, I don't care about the tech. I don't care if it's 50 million times faster than the next fastest network. Like that shit to me doesn't matter. The blockchain turns on, we can come and degen on it. Like cool. You know, I don't really care about the other stuff. It is important, obviously. Maybe I'm just not smart enough to understand that side, so that's fine. I like community stuff. That's what I like. And if the blockchain turns on and we can make transactions, we can still do what we need to do on the blockchain, right? And the community on Say, yeah, sentiment's been a little low lately. It comes and goes. You know what I mean? Um, but yes, heathen, yes. But like, it the community for me is the most valuable thing that Say has going for it, in my opinion. I don't think that the average person that becomes part of a community, I don't personally feel like they see on the timeline 380 milliseconds to finality and they're like, oh shit, full porting, here we go. Like that's not real, in my opinion, that's not the shit that drags a community member in. But when they see the dumb parties, you know, on the timeline, it's like, oh shit, that looks fun. Oh shit, that looks that I want to go and do that. I want to go to fucking Miami next year. Great. You know, and I think that really is, in my opinion, that is the stuff that brings people, makes people want to get involved, you know? So I think the community is here. I think the community is a little, you know, worn out, tired, and frustrated. And I get that, you know. But I firmly believe that like we said yesterday when we were talking, in the past few months, for the regular user, what has changed about your experience? Nothing really. Not like your actual like on-chain experience. Maybe on the timeline, you know, but like your on-chain experience, what really changed on Say? Nothing.
Nothing
Like
really.
nothing really.
No.
So everything still works the way it did when we were happy as fuck to be here. We're just upset because some of the back end nerdy shit that we don't even really understand. The most of us, obviously there are people that do, but like the most of us don't really even comprehend half of what they're talking about. And then we're just frustrated and it's like, well, shit, fuck them, they're not doing what we want them to do. Dude, you can kick gigas or whatever out and then multiply it by 10, and bro, I'm still not going to know the difference because my transaction goes through in a second and it costs me 0.04 cent. Bro, I don't give a shit. Like that's so fucking fast to me, like I don't care. So that kind of stuff really, man, I feel like a lot of that stuff would roll out, and if they didn't announce it, you're not even gonna realize that it happened because it's already fast. You know, it's already a fast chain. It's already a cheap chain. So as far as the community stuff goes, you know, I think that there are obviously things that we need to fix. You know, that there are things that the foundation and the labs team sync up, figure out. Cool. But like I said, man, the past few months, the tech itself hasn't really changed. The only thing that's changed is the sentiment and price. Um,
Yeah, dude.
but price is following ETH. You know, look
Yeah,
at ETH.
it's so correlated to price that it's kind of crazy. Like I
Yeah,
think that like what's going on is like very much a reaction to some people exploring other chains and like going to other chains to build shit as well as price. Like because
yep.
other than that, like nothing has really changed on fucking Say at all. Um so yeah, I like appreciate your take there. And I'm curious, like you talked about like the dumb parties. We saw you in Miami, you were hanging out. What's your kind of take on like Web3 IRL events and like how is Drill Club kind of getting involved in that? Also, shout out to your merch. Your merch is fucking high quality. Really dig my Drill Club t-shirt.
Appreciate it, man. Web3 IRL events, bullish, bullish, bullish. I think any project, any team, any blockchain, anything in Web3 that's trying to do something and you're not focused on IRL events, you're fucking stupid. Like the dude, just if you put on a lot, like we can go through numbers all day long. I used to do live events, but I guarantee you that the money that it would cost me to put on an event that could bring in 2,000, 3,000 people, we could retain whatever percentage of those people and we spend, X amount of dollars. I bet you that it's a better return on investment than the creator fund. I bet it's a better return on investment than your average, marketing spend. Like, hey, let's run a bunch of ads, whatever. Retention is everything. I don't give a shit if you come make a wallet and then leave, man. That doesn't matter. I want retention. You want conversion, right? That's the term they like to hear, conversion.
Mhm.
You want people to come here and then not bridge their funds back off of Say. You want people to continue to bridge funds onto Say, or ideally make profits on Say and not have to bridge more funds. But you don't want people to leave the blockchain. You don't want them to come and try it and then leave. That doesn't help you in the long term. That looks good for this month or for this quarter, but it doesn't look good 3 years down the road when that person never came back. So I personally feel like for the money that it costs to go into and do a live event, you can make you can get a better return on your investment with live events, in my opinion. It's easier to sit there and talk to someone face to face and hear what they have to say and make that connection. And really, you do an event, you've got say 500 people there and you've got 20 Say people running around hanging out, mingling, and then telling people about Say. And I'm not mean like foundation people, I mean like founders and holders and whatever. That's the best champions of your brand. The people that don't have to be here, but they're still here anyway. So I think that, I mean, if you have live events and you have people that are passionate about the brand that are at those events, you don't even have to tell somebody. Like, they just see it. They see you and they know that you love this shit. Well, man, I'm gonna go talk to them and find out why they're so excited about it. Like, why are you so happy to be here? I think that's a significantly better onboarding tool. Not to mention, it's great content. You have a lot of content. You encourage people. You do a step and go, like the banner or whatever, the big sheet that hangs that you stand in front of and take your pictures, all the logos on it.
Mhm.
Like, you get some of that stuff there. You get your branding all over the place and you encourage people, man, take pictures, post it online, hit, hashtag, I don't know if that's still a thing, but whatever, like, post your stuff on. That's a lot of content. And even if you do a free event, you're not having to pay those people to put content out, and they're going to continue to put content out. And that's a lot of marketing. It really is. And it's organic marketing, which hits a lot better than manufactured marketing. So yeah, real like IRL events, I think it's just a no-brainer. I think, I understand there's people that aren't able to put on, IRL events, whether it's funding or experience or what have you. Um, but I think anybody that's just flat out fading like IRL events, like, to really, really rethink that. Like, talk to anybody who does events. I promise you, like, like I said, I did events. I used to tour playing music, and then we put on events where, like, on the low end was 1,000 cap room and up. And we did festivals where it was huge, like very, very big, shutting down half a downtown kind of thing, like on some of these places. And dude, IRL events is where it's at, man. If we did more of those, I think it would hit. Like I said, there were people that make comments of, "Oh, I'm glad we did a creator fund so people could go and fucking party in Miami." But dude, like, how much of the tech content that we saw, don't get me wrong, man, that shit's important. Like, it really, really is. But like, how much of the tech content do we see versus how much of the Miami content we saw? And then which content do you think did a better job of making people want to check Say out? The tech stuff
Definitely
is
the
really
Miami
cool.
shit, bro.
Correct. The
Definitely the
tech stuff
Miami
is really
Miami
cool.
shit.
But like, if you're not into tech, if like, I like tech, but I don't spend my time learning about the new protocols and things. I just, so I think that if like, if you look at it, the IRL events, the stuff from Miami, the stuff you guys did at Permissionless, dude, even just like the selfie videos, like Trey used to post, like, I don't know, smoking a cigarette on his front porch or whatever, like, dude, that kind of stuff is like significantly more impactful in my opinion. So, and then like, a IRL event is just like that on steroids. So I think that it's a no-brainer, man. It really is. And if nothing else, it helps community sentiment. And we all know what community sentiment does. It fixes a lot of shit. People say revenue fixes everything, but like in Web3, I think community sentiment might fix everything. I mean, you look at people always go, oh, the best tech wins. No, the fuck it doesn't. Like, not at all. Like, it really, really doesn't. So, I think that, if you're doing these IRL events and you're doing something that people look forward to, and whether it's just at conferences or whether it's in between conferences, man, I really think that that's the trick, and it builds community sentiment. It onboards people, and it gives you, more mind share. People are more likely to watch a video of a party than they are to watch a video of you talking about RPC nodes or whatever, And
Yeah, it's not
so,
even. That's not even close, right? I totally agree with
yeah,
you about like IRL events and like most importantly the content that comes after it, right? Like because that's really what you have to double down on. Is the content that comes out of the IRL events. I think
yeah,
it's a double-edged sword though because like the more that you're you know in the now in person, right? Like the more you can kind of get stuff done and like kind of accomplish, but the less than you're kind of focused about content. So it's like a good balance of like you got to make sure there's content, but you also got to be in the moment because who knows who you are standing next to that is super bullish to talk to.
yep.
Lord, shout out to him for coming through the stream. Appreciate you, bro. I actually met him at an IRL event in Philly, and he did a little interview with me. He asked me what I'm like looking at, blah 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 blah. But yeah, he says I'm looking for more info on Say. Yeah, dude, I would say join S3. Join our Discord, S3 Discord, and like he even said that check my bio, the S3 Labs. That Discord has a ton of fucking info on Say. We have like an entire like ecosystem list and a ton of people from the Say community. So that's probably the best place. So yeah, dude, Dippo, are you planning on being around for ETH Denver next month?
And I'm not sure. I really wanted to go, but it's right around my daughter's birthday. It's like the day of, like the first day is like the day of my wife's birthday. Like honestly, man, like between Web 2 and Web 3, like my time is pretty spoken for. So uh I don't know, man. Honestly, I might just do something stupid and just fly out for the day, come hang out, find something fucking fun to do, and just come out
Oh,
for the
yeah, where are
fucking
you
day,
at,
man.
bro? Where are you located?
I'm in Florida. Like I'm in like
Florida.
Pensacola,
Yeah,
like the
that's right.
like
That's right.
western tip of Florida. Yeah.
I don't know why I think I always mix that up because you sound like you're from fucking Texas, bro. Like you have that like Texas fucking twang to your voice. I feel like
A little bit, yeah, I guess so. I mean, dude, my family's country as shit, bro.
makes sense.
Like my family is fucking country, dude. Yeah.
I like that, dude. I respect that. I respect it. I'm from the middle of Pennsylvania, bro. So like we're like that too, Not me as much, but like a lot of people around us,
Yeah,
Um,
I was the black sheep of my family.
but dude, there's some people that are only coming out to ETH Denver for like a couple days because it's long, bro.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
8 days fucking long. And so like I know that like King Ball and Donnie, I'm pretty sure from S3 are like coming for the first half of it, but not the second half. And so like there might be something you could do where you fly in for like a day or two, maybe 3 max. I
Yeah.
don't know. Not
I
saying you
mean,
have to,
like I
but
said, I might just find like a cheap flight, find just roll the dice with Spirit and see if they actually let me get on the plane or not, and delay me as usual. But we'll see. But yeah, I mean, you can get pretty cheap flights, last minute. So, yeah, I might just grab a cheap flight, fly out for a day, stay the night, hang out the next day, fly out that next night or something. I don't know. We'll see. Um, but yeah, primarily, man, like we just have to kind of see what's going on. Me and the wife might get out of town or something, so I might not make it at all. But New York is definitely on the agenda. I would be shocked if I missed New York. So yeah, we're making sure that we're gonna make it to more of the IRL events this year. Um, get together some, put together some stuff, some maybe a little event here or there. So
dude,
just
we
have to see.
are in the process of cooking something really cool for NFT NYC. I
Yeah,
don't know any details yet. Nothing has been solidified yet, but we're working in that direction, and I feel like NFT NYC is going to be a cook.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. So we'll definitely let you know when I know a little bit more, and then we'll try to figure out how to get Drill Club involved. Um, but uh, but yeah, back to kind of Drill Club itself, right? When is this migration taking place, and what all is like kind of happening with this? Because I know there's like an art change and like some stuff on that. Uh, so yeah, what's
Yeah.
tell us all the deets.
So originally the plan was to we were gonna do season two art and the migration at the same time. So you migrate your drill to say you get the season two art alongside the season one art. Um, Art's taking a little longer to come along than expected. A lot of it is me. Like honestly, I'll just say it, like a lot of it is me. Dude, if we didn't have our artist on retainer, I'm sure he'd never work with me again. Like just dude, I'm picky, bro. Like, dude, I'm zooming shit in where you can barely tell what you're looking at and looking at pixels to make sure they're in line. Like because like I immediately when we started doing the season two art, I went back at season one and I just kind of glanced over. I'd never really deep dug in, looked at the collection. I mean, obviously I've looked at it, but I didn't like inspect things before.
Right, with
So
a
I was like, hey, I'm
critical
gonna look
eye.
at a few things and just see if I notice like any like layer issues that we never caught. And then I caught an issue that every single drill has.
That you
Every
showed me, and I don't know if we talked
dude,
about this on stream, but we
I
might have.
still haven't. I just kind of left it. I haven't really. I don't want to ruin things for people, you know. But dude, it's now that you know what it is, it's like what the fuck, dude. Every single drill has it, and I was like, "There's that shit's not happening on season two, bro. Like, I'm not doing season three to fix season two. So,
Right, season
so I've
two is
been
it.
very particular on things where things just aren't realistic. Like the way the material breaks on the apparel doesn't look natural. Any of that stuff, man, because like it's I've seen collections before where it's like, oh man, the art's awesome, and then like someone points out something about the art, and everyone's like, oh, the art sucks. Like I feel like, especially when I mean, dude, the artist is talented, man. Like he's really good. So I'm like, there's no reason that we should not let him perform at his best because it's also a reflection on him. You know, like down the road, he's looking for more work or he's using this for a portfolio for whatever. It's a reflection on him as well. So, I mean, I think that, us getting the absolute best product out is important. So, yes, that has
Mhm.
delayed the original plan to migrate, do the art at the same time. So, realistically, what we're probably going to do is go ahead and migrate the collection as is and then just manually push season two art. I
Gotcha.
know it wasn't the plan, but I feel like it's important to go ahead and just get the ball moving. On top of me being very anal about things, our artist has had like the worst case of the flu for the past like 2 weeks. Like spent like half of it like bedridden pretty much. So
Fuck.
it's been rough. So that definitely put a damper on things as well. Holidays, all just the perfect storm of shit to delay things. So, like I
Of
said, I
course.
think the most important thing is we just go ahead and migrate the collection over, get the community fully ingrained in Say, and really, because that's for me, dude. I mean, I'll be honest. Buddha told me about Say for a long time. I came over here, I bought some Say Lamis, and never opened Compass Wallet again, and that was it. I was like, "Oh, my buddy's got a collection. I'm gonna go buy some." So I came over and bought some, and then that was literally the end of it. And then like June or July, I came back over and I bought a few more things. I bought fuckers and Cappy, and that's when I kind of got into a couple of communities. Honestly, dude, shout out to fucking Heathen. Like no shit. Like I don't remember how it happened, but Heathen was like, dude, join the S3 server. It's like I don't even fucking know who he is. Literally just commented, and I probably like posted a dumb GIF as a reply. And he's like, join the S3 server. It's like, oh fuck, this shit looks like it's gonna be boring as fuck. Like just a fucking community server. And I joined the server, and
You're
I'm in the
rugging a little
server
bit.
for like two
You're
minutes. I was
rugging.
like,
There you go. You're back. You're
I'm
back.
rugging.
Yeah, you were. You said
Uh,
you're like you saw S3. You're like, oh, this is probably gonna be boring and dumb.
yeah. Well, it was like it's just a community, so it's not a project. It's just a hey, we're just a community. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the fucking worst servers to be in. And then
Yeah.
I got in the server, dude. I'm in for like 2 minutes, and I was like, I fucking love these people like already. Like everybody was just an asshole and a smart ass, and I was like, these are my fucking people. Like this
Mhm.
is exactly where I need to be. So
For
like I
sure.
was just like really, I mean, I'll be honest, man, that's really what that got me to stick around and say is I just like I hopped in and I ran into people that I vibed with. And that was really it. I was like, okay, well, this will be fun. And then the next day was more fun. And I was like, fuck, dude, this is a lot of fun. And that's when I really started paying attention to the communities. You know, I think it might have been Grilled, you know, in the S3 server was like, dude, if you haven't joined, join the fucker server. So I joined the fucker server and I was like, man, this community's fun as shit, you know?
Yeah.
So, and that's what really got me to stick around, man. Like before that, it was literally, I'm going to come, I'm going to pick something up and I'm out. And I pick something up and I'm out. I don't have time to keep up with all these different blockchains. I barely have time to keep up with one blockchain, much less, you know, two or three, and then all the extra ones that keep popping up. So I just didn't really put any time into say. But then, like I said, I got in and I saw some of the communities in action. I was like, man, this shit's fun. And normally my mornings are fairly busy. So I like to listen to spaces, try and find some spaces. And of course, you know, there was like all day long on say, you know, during the summer, it was spaces almost all day.
Hmm.
And the spaces were a lot of fun. You know, and I was like, man, dude, the community is cool as shit. That's what hooked me was the community. Again, I didn't know shit about the tech. I didn't really understand the parallelization. I just knew that my wallet was working, and I'm not one to try and fix shit that's not broken. So I
Right.
wasn't going to worry about it. I just kept continuing on, say, as I was. And apparently, I guess Compass just did it for me in the background at some point. But like,
To link your shit or whatever.
yeah, dude, because whenever someone's like, you really need to go link your stuff. So I went to link it. It's already linked. And like, I know for a fact I did not go do that myself. So I guess it just happened at some point, which is cool.
I
But
think once you like do a transaction on EVM, it links it to Cosm, or
okay,
vice versa, or something like that.
okay. Well, I
Could be
know that
wrong.
if you import an EVM wallet to Compass, it immediately creates and links. I believe anyway. That's what I just did. I didn't link the wallet. I imported a wallet over, and it already had the Say address linked and everything. So, and it's something I'd never done on Say before. So I'm assuming that it now Compass Wallet just automatically creates and links the Say side or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Um,
I'm not sure.
again, like I just want stuff to work. I don't
Yeah.
I don't even want to know how it works. I just want it to come on. Like so, but yeah, man. Yeah. Um,
Cool. Yeah, dude.
that's it.
So when though? Right? Like I know you said sooner than the
Yep.
art, but
Yeah.
when?
So we so they're in the process of yeah, I can't say it yet. They're in the process. I need to have a talk with the community before I say that on a stream. Thank you. But yeah, I think that very soon. So we just need to have it built out. Correct. At this point, it's basically everything was built, ready to go. Um, you know, for us to do like the migration and everything, but we're gonna do things a little differently, kind of future proof ourselves a little bit. So they're kind of going back and rebuilding, honestly. Um, shout out to the Skelly's team. Like those guys are awesome. Like absolute great fucking builders, man. Great build. They're like I said, it's not a couple guys that are good. They have a full on team, like a legitimate full on dev team. Um, so yeah, man, got them going in and building it out. Definitely excited for the way we're gonna approach this. Um, but yeah, man. So I would think in the next 3 to 4 weeks,
Nice.
at least if nothing else, we would be very, very close. Like maybe a week on top of that. But I think realistically here in the next 3 to 4 weeks, just depending on how long it takes to get them to get the tool kind of adjusted and everything for what we're doing this time. Um, maybe faster than that, honestly. I don't know. You know, I figure I'll probably hear something back tomorrow, the next day, from EJ, from the Skellies
Mhm.
about time frame and everything, and yeah, it'll just depend on that. I mean, if we're not having to, you know, figure out the art migration all at the same time, we can just migrate the collection and get to work on Say, and we'll push the art, you know, as soon as it's ready.
Hell yeah. Cool, man, dude. Excited for Drill Club to come over to say. Definitely interested in being involved in that. So definitely keep us fucking in tune with or updated with what's going on with that. I'm sure you will.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I'm having two thoughts. One is I want to talk about a couple things and get your take on it. But also, I'm thinking, what if we go to a space? What if, like, second hour of the stream, we actually go to a space? Reasons I'm saying that: one, out of drink, so I need to go to get more drink. And two, I miss having spaces, and things are weird today because Cap's not here. Anyway, so might do that. But before we make any moves one way or the other, I want to get your take on wealthy Hypeo babies. I know you've seen Hypeo. Hypeo is my new PFP on Twitter, and I'm pretty fucking excited about it. So I want to get your take on this whole situation. I don't know how much you know about this. Are you tapped into what's going on with these Hypeo babies, or would you like me to give the rundown?
So what is it that I'm commenting on?
Everything about so okay, for context, and I know you probably already know this, Dippo, but want to ask or want to fill everybody else in that's watching the stream. So Hypeo Babies is a Milady Deriv project that is a Hyperliquid NFT project, but Hyper EVM is not live yet. And so what they did was they minted on Base, and they're going to bridge to Hyperliquid in the future, allegedly. So they minted for around $50. I think it was like 0.025, and then ran up to like 0.4. Right now they're sitting at like 0.22 ETH. And they just did the reveal today. So today was the reveal. And so, yeah, comments on like how they went about it, going on Base and then bridging, the fact that it's Milady Deriv, Retardio cousin Deriv, and then also just general comments on the art. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I felt like we had enough Milady derivatives, honestly. But like regardless, I will say this. I think I might like this better than the original. Like it's just dirty, man. Like I don't know. Like dude, if I was gonna rock like a little girl PFP, like that'd probably be this one. Like it's pretty fucking rad. Like I like this honestly. Um, as far as like the way they approach things with minting on base and supposedly they're gonna be bridging over. Um, Dude, I mean, I think it's smart, honestly. I mean, why wait to get your community started? I mean, honestly, they're probably already on base anyway, and if they're not, it's still Ethereum, and they're gonna have to have Ethereum to go to Hyperliquid anyway, right? It's gonna be EVM. So, yeah, I mean, I think it was kind of a no-brainer. Yeah, it was a smart move. Go ahead and launch on a chain and try and get things building, and then bridge your collection over, So no, I
And
think it's
something
I
that
think
they
it's cool.
managed to do with this is like front run fucking everybody, every other NFT collection on Hype, because
Yep.
hyper liquid motherfuckers, and Cap was talking about this. They're gonna want PFPs to rock. They got a lot of fucking money because they're
Yep.
DeFi traders. They just got their Hype airdrop. They want to rep this chain. They're excited about Hyperliquid, and so the best way to kind of rep that is by repping a native NFT to the chain. And
Yep.
so they've managed to front run all of that. So yeah, man, I'm pretty stoked on these. I kind of want to get a second one. I minted two, should have held them, I guess, maybe. The naked one's kind of crazy. But I ended up selling both of mine and then buying back in and picking out this one, which is pretty.
Yeah.
I like it, dude. It's fucking.
Yeah.
That dude is fucking. I like how it's just like black and white,
Yeah.
But
No,
one of the
like I
cool
say,
things about the like, one of the reasons that I think maybe you like this more than the other ones is because like the colors of Hyperliquid are like pretty cool and unique. They're like
yep.
like this like bluish green and then like pink and like you know what I mean? So like it brings this like unique vibe to this art, But mine's
Yeah.
just white on black. So
Yeah, no, I think it's like I said, I like the art. I think it's cool.
Donnie's sidelined as fuck, dude. Sorry, you're
Yeah,
not the first NFT on the chain if you didn't mint on the chain. Donnie, that is such an L take, bro. and just shows how sidelined you are from this entire project, as well as the chain itself. GG's, brother, you're making S3 look bad. You're making us look not tapped into Hyperliquid, because everybody on that chain is very, very fucking excited about this project, Donnie. So shut up, dude. That's it. But sometimes you just have bad opinions. Sometimes I do. Right now, I'm not the one. It's you, Donnie, with the bad opinion. So yeah, Noble says we move into a space. I want to be co-host. Dude, are you down, bro? You want to go to a space?
Yeah, dude, I love spaces.
All right, cool. Yeah, we'll be back fucking, around whenever. Thanks for tuning in to the stream. Come to my profile. I'm gonna host a space. Pull up.
Real quick to correct Donnie, if they bridge to the chain before anyone mints on the chain, they're still first on the chain.
That's true. If they're the first on the chain, they're the first on the chain, Donnie. Like, that's the way it is. What should I make the space title? Like, I think it's got to be
Donnie's wrong.
Something. Yeah, look at Ken. Hypeo's dope. And Ken is not a fucking Milady Jariv supporter, right? He hated Red Milio, even though he founded the project. Hypeos are cool. Fuck you, Donnie. What should we name the space? Let's make it something like retarded. Like, I don't know.
You're putting more thought into this than most people put into their content, man.
It's true.
It's wild.
Okay. We'll figure out the title later. Untitled. Unrecorded. Start now. Come to the space, or you're gay. Come here.
Give me a second. I gotta switch off the iPad.